Hello, boys and girls. Today's book is The Ganjong Spider. It is written by a Singaporean lady, and there are lots of maybe new words, phrases that you haven't seen before. So I'll go through them with you before we start on the book. What does Ganjong mean? Ganjong is a Cantonese phrase that means nervous, worried, or tense. A Ganjong spider is a Singaporean expression to describe someone who is easily flustered and who often tries to do things in a hurry, even when there is no need to rush. So imagine if I said, "Mark, hurry up, do your homework." And Mark thinks, "Oh, it's due on Friday. Today is only..." The other words you would hear is ang ku kueh, which is this cake that you see. And ang means red or hong. Another thing you'll see are red eggs, and that's given at birthdays. We will be reading a little bit about the dragon in a playground in Toa Payoh. Some of you may have been there before. Another phrase for Singapore is the little red dot. And the other thing that the girl likes to eat in this book is a siu mai. So it's a little dianxing. We can start with the book. "Where's my red toothbrush?" cried Uncle Kueh girl as she searched high and low. It wasn't in her dental mug where it was supposed to be. It wasn't on the basin top. And luckily, it wasn't in the toilet bowl either. Her little brother, Uncle Kueh boy, was already leaving the house. Always neat and tidy, he was never in a rush. He was the complete opposite of his sister. Sometimes he nicknamed her Kanchong Girl because she was so easily flustered. He shouted, "I'm going to the dragon playground now. See you later, Kanchong Girl." At last, Uncle Kueh girl found her toothbrush. It was hidden in a packet of her favorite chocolate bars in her brother's room. How had her toothbrush ended up there? She then saw that her brother had eaten all the chocolate except for 2 pieces. He was always eating her food without asking for permission. She brushed her teeth, wolfed down 2 siu mai and a glass of warm milk, then rushed to the dragon playground. The playground was Uncle Kueh girl's favorite place in her neighborhood on the little red dot island. She knew there was something magical about it. Soon, Uncle Kueh girl, Uncle Kueh boy, and Red Egg were running around playing catching and laughing. Suddenly, they heard a loud "Om." It sounded like someone clearing his throat because he had just woken up. "Finally, I can speak again," said a deep and kindly voice. The 3 friends looked right. Then they looked left. They did not see anyone in the playground. "It's me, the dragon," the voice said with a chuckle. They turned and saw the dragon grinning. They stared with their eyes and mouths wide open. Was the dragon really talking? Red Egg, who was the bravest, spoke first. "You can talk? You're alive?" Uncle Kueh girl, who was the most curious, blurted out, "Can you fly? Do you breathe fire?" Uncle Kueh boy, who was the most thoughtful, asked, "What do you want?" "I'm the dragon of the east of the little red dot island. Thanks to you, I can talk again. When you and Red Egg fought off the slicer in the playground, a spell was broken. But that's a story for another time. Right now, my friend, the candy spider, needs your help. Come here, come close to me." Uncle Kueh girl grabbed her brother and Red Egg and pushed them in front of the dragon before they could protest. She couldn't resist an adventure, and the dragon didn't look dangerous. The dragon took a deep breath, then blew on the sand in the playground. A gust of wind and sand surrounded them. The sand felt magical. Before they knew it, they were were shrinking. The wind blew them towards the red flowers that gave the island its name. They spotted a house decorated with lots of candy. It had a chocolate door and windows made of sweets and was surrounded by many large lollipops. "Look, a candy house," said the red egg. "That must be where the candy spider lives. Let's go," said Uncle Quay Boy excitedly. He loved candy and could almost taste the delicious candy in his mouth. "Yes, let's," said Uncle Quay Girl as she ran towards the house. Her brother and Red Egg chased after her. As they entered the candy house, they saw mountains and mountains of lollipops, chocolates and sweets all mixed up. A gigantic, colorful spider was frantically packing the lollipops, chocolates and sweets into bags. The spider was mumbling, "Oh dear, I'm never going to finish." Then he noticed them. "You must be friends of the dragon. He told me you might be coming. Every week, each child gets a bag with 1 lollipop, 2 chocolate bars, and 3 sweets. Please pack the candy in bags labeled with each child's name. If you don't do it properly, the children will have no candy that week. There's no time to explain more. Just do what I'm doing." By now, Uncle Quay Boy, who loved candy, could no longer resist. He grabbed a bar of chocolate from one of the piles and put it into his mouth. He felt a shiver down his spine and then sharp pains along both sides of his body. 2 extra pairs of arms sprang from his body. He now had 8 limbs. Uncle Quay Girl and Red Egg screamed in fear when they saw this. The candy spider shouted, "Thief! How dare you eat what's not yours? Those extra arms will only disappear when all the work is done." The candy spider returned to his task of packing the candy. He looked carefully at the mountain of candy. Then he picked up 1 lollipop, 2 chocolate bars, and 3 sweets. Even though the candy spider had 8 arms, he kept dropping the candy and picking out the wrong number of sweets. He kept mumbling, "We need to hurry." It was no wonder he was nicknamed the cheong spider. Gloomily, the 3 friends got down to work. Uncle Quay Girl was very slow. After all, she only had 2 arms. In her rush to finish the task, she would sometimes put the wrong number of candy into the bags. She was getting very confused and kept dropping the candy onto the floor in her hurry. She felt like crying. She felt as flustered as she had that morning while searching for her toothbrush. She threw the candy onto the floor and kicked at the mountain of candy in frustration. Uncle Quay Girl saw that her brother and Red Egg were also having a difficult time. "We have to think of a better way to do this, or Uncle Quay Boy will have 8 limbs forever." "Oh, I know what to do," said Uncle Quay Boy. "Let's sort this big mountain of candy into 3 smaller piles according to their type." He was thinking of how he kept his toy cars separately from his building blocks and board games. "Yes, lollipops in the first pile, chocolates in the second pile, and sweets in the third," said Uncle Quay Girl. The 3 friends began sorting the huge mountain of candy into 3 smaller piles. Being organized made packing the different types of candy into bags easier. Even though Uncle Quay Girl and Red Egg only had 2 arms each, they soon caught up with the candy spider. The candy spider was surprised. "That is a brilliant way of doing things. Can you please teach me how?" "As long as you're organized, you can do it easily too," said Uncle Quay Girl. She showed the candy spider their neatly sorted piles. Delighted with this new method, the candy spider began enjoying his work. It was so fun and easy that he even sang as he sorted. "Thank you. I no longer need your help, and nobody can call me the cheong spider now," he exclaimed. Then Uncle Grey Boy noticed his 4 extra arms had disappeared. Thank goodness! He would no longer take things that did not belong to him. The candy spider led them outside and picked up the magical sand from the ground where they had landed earlier. "The dragon sand will help you get back to him," said the candy spider as he sprinkled the sand onto the 3 friends. The siblings and Red Egg were caught in a whirlwind of sand. They felt giddy as they grew bigger and bigger and landed in the sandpit, poof, back to their regular size. They still smelled of sweet candy. Uncle Quaker knew that the candy spider was not the only one who would no longer be called Ganjong. She would keep her things in their rightful places too. Then came the same voice she had heard earlier this morning. "Welcome back. You look like you've had quite an adventure." The 3 of them glanced at the dragon and then at each other. They couldn't wait. They had a feeling that more adventures were to come.